When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, it was kind of a fluke. It was wintertime. My family, me, my husband, and our three boys, everyone got their coughs and colds, and it was my turn. And I got mine too. Everyone else got better, and mine didn't. And so I went to my primary doctor after about a month of coughing and hacking and sneezing, and she prescribed me an antibiotic. She prescribed me a asthma pump. You know, they were thinking that maybe this was just a lingering cough variant asthma type deal. And I also felt a pinch in my side, so I asked for an ultrasound just because gallbladder and appendicitis issues run in my family. Got the ultrasound, and they found I had lesions in my liver. And so just, well, why the heck would I have lesions in my liver? You know, I'm working full time, I have three kids, feel absolutely fine, besides this lingering cough. And come to find out, I had hormone positive metastatic de novo breast cancer, HER2 negative, and it had spread already to my lymph nodes, my spleen, my liver, my lungs, my chest wall, my abdomen, my bones. And so I was literally dying on paper. 60% of my liver had been taken over by tumors. And I was prior to the age of when you're advised to get your mammogram. My grandmother on my father's side had breast cancer, but she didn't die from it. And my doctors never thought that I would be considered high risk because of that. So 39, diagnosed with breast cancer, metastatic de novo. So I would say my life changed because I really feel like my mental thoughts just shifted. My husband is a two-time cancer survivor, and I'm also a mom of three boys. So, and my mom also had her health challenges. So for a long time, I was just in caregiver mode. So what everybody else needed. I'm the oldest of three girls. So I kind of keep the family together. You know, I'm always thinking of ways for us to spend time together. Constantly thinking of, you know, taking care of the boys and what they need, what my husband needs. And then all of a sudden I had to think about myself. Greatest attribute of Rick is he is um, just consistent and solid. So just he's like that oak tree in a tornado that's just steady Eddie. No matter what comes our way, he's just like, okay, and it's just like, what's next? And I mean, we've been through a lot, you know, and you just think about his health challenges and just having three boys, and then now me and my health challenges, and it's just like, you know, it's just, okay, all right, it's Tuesday. It's just like he's very unaffected. And I'm a little concerned about that sometimes because I wonder, like, are you processing this emotionally? But it is calming in a sense where he's just very, you know, what is it that you need? I'm there for you. So even when I'm having my meltdowns, he's just solid.
I was surprised. I was surprised that she was diagnosed, number one, with breast cancer, and number two, that she was diagnosed at stage 4 right off the bat. Um, she'd seen me go through my two episodes with cancer, both, well, actually, at the time, it was just my colon cancer, and before that, it was my liver disease. So she had seen me go through it, and she was my caretaker. So this time around, I realized that I had to be her caretaker. I would say it hasn't really changed that much, being as that, you know, I was the one who was the one with the health issues for a number of years prior to her. So I kind of knew what it was going to be like. The only difference is now that I'm on this side. Instead of being the one receiving the care, I was the one giving the care. But that's the only real difference, just a kind of a shift in perspective. Her determination. the way that she approaches problems, the way that she's always approached any issue that she's ever had, whether it be personal, professional. She does her research. She and heads at it straight on. She makes sure every base is covered. So there's not much more for me to even worry about because she already got it covered. I just have to be there to support her and to help make sure that she has all the strength and support she needs to plow through whatever issue that she wants to do.
I actually had the day off downtown, going to the photo store to print out pictures, and we had to go to the photo store to do that. And he used to work downtown, was on his lunch break, and we were waiting for the traffic light to cross the street, and he started singing to get my attention.
What was I singing?
So he was singing Luther Vandross, "Excuse me, miss,
Yes.
what's your name?" That song. And then everyone, and you know how you just look around like, is some random person singing? And so I looked, he got my attention, everyone was laughing, and then, you know, I think I took your number.
Yeah.
And then we've been hooked by hooked together ever since. What makes us work as a couple is we balance each other out. So I'm an extrovert, he's an introvert. I tend to be on high octane energy all the time. He's kind of more mellow. I tend to be more emotional and he's more leveled out. So we kind of just balance each other out in those ways. In relation to my diagnosis, our lives have changed where it's not so much focus and attention as much as just Rick and his care and treatment, but it's now both of us as parents have to be hyper-focused on raising our boys and taking care of ourselves and taking care of each other. So we're both patients and caregivers at the same time. Now that I am, dealing with my illness, I focus more so on being able to do the things that I enjoy, making memories with our kids as a family. Sometimes it's just us hanging out, laughing, being goofy, watching movies, or just eating, chomping on our favorite ice cream, or playing games, traveling, going on trips. Going to cookouts, spending time with family, going to the movies, just anything that's fun and it's going to put a smile on our faces is what we tend to focus on. And so it's more so about the experience, or that we're creating a memory that people will look back on and say, oh, I remember that time when we did, that. And so if there's any time during my day where I'm like, would I be doing this if, am I only doing this because I have to, or if I only had but so many days, is this something that I would be doing in those days that I have? And if it's something that's like a chore or not bringing me joy, then I question whether or not if I should be doing it or not. So I try to really focus on, okay, is this important? Is this worth my time? I have to be really selective with it now. For the most part, I find it in my immediate family, including Rick, even my kids, just having them hug me and love on me is a lot. And then I have a community of girlfriends that are either breast cancer survivors or living with metastatic breast cancer that I also lean on. So I would say those are really the ones who I go to just to constantly feed my soul with that support. I think for me, just being an advocate and being active in the breast cancer community, and especially in the metastatic breast cancer community, the statistics, and also, just connecting with people, and then they're here one minute and then gone the next minute, it seems, even though it's, sometimes months or a year. But I just was diagnosed this year, and so there's no way to know whether or not if I'm going to be one of those ones that, survives for this amount of time, or will this be a long period of time? Will I be able to hang in there until they get a handle on this? And so that's scary because our kids are so young. And so sometimes I get into that dark place when I see that there's a mom that recently passed away and her kids are young. And so I just think about, how am I going to have that conversation if I'm not able to get a handle on it? How am I going? What I worry about the experience of my kids and what's going to happen to them if I'm not here to take care of them, or the trauma of losing a parent. And so he talks me down off of that ledge, where he's like, you can't let your mind go into that space and you can't worry about that. And so I try to stay positive and just focus on what I do have control over. I would say in the early beginning, I felt like I was reintroduced to myself, especially with chemotherapy, not recognizing myself, the face that I saw in the mirror, and losing my hair and my eyebrows and my eyelashes. And, I feel like I'm looking, horrible. So it's kind of hard to feel sexy and intimate when you feel like you look like the Crypt Keeper. So I just wasn't into it. But he was, and it was hard for me to understand that he wanted to be intimate, or that he was still attracted to me looking that way. And now I'm getting used to myself not having that much hair as I used to. And, just getting adjusted to this whole new me.
Yeah, she wasn't quite herself in the beginning of her treatment, and then I would constantly reassure her that you're still beautiful. You are not your hair, you are not your eyelashes, you are something deeper than that. And what you are, who you are, is who I'm attracted to. It's not just this or that or the other. It's not a checklist of things. It's all of who you are. And eventually she caught on, and that she accepted it, and we were able to move forward, and she was more comfortable with herself. But yeah, things are good.
Yeah, I had a lot of hair. I love my hair. Now it's gone. And so that was an adjustment, and I don't think I'll ever get like that full head of hair again. So, I had pictures. So, I'll just look at it like that. Also, even though I didn't have surgery, now my breasts are asymmetrical. So that's a little different, because that was new. But not really mind that too much. And so, now I got to get used to this new body and learn how to, get my weight stable with, being menopausal. So it's like adjustments like that. But I still feel pretty confident because I feel, in comparison, I feel like, okay, well, I think I look beautiful if I'm not in the hospital. So I look at it like that. When I look at pictures, like I might be pudgy, I might have a gut, but I'm not in the hospital. So I actually look at that as a positive, and I focus on that. And so I, make the best of it. It's like I have my little, body curls going on. It's going to be my look, okay? And, I might be a little pudgy right now, but I'll get that together. But as long as I'm not in the hospital, I'm like, I'll take it, We have a lot of deep conversations. I feel that if I can unload on anybody, it should be my husband. So I'm very honest and transparent, and I just let it all out on the table. And so I think the reason why I'm doing so good mentally is because we have each other to kind of be completely transparent and open with, and honest about what we're feeling and what we're thinking and what we're going through.
Yeah, I would agree. There aren't too many really deep conversations strictly about cancer. We do have our deep conversations. Some of them are about cancer, but typically a lot of our conversations are quote unquote normal, or we inject humor into them. But every so often it does get a little heavy.
I think the struggles that pertain to us with cancer is that we want to plan a long, happy, life together and grow old with each other, and we have all these plans, but it's almost as if we have to live our day to day, not let cancer be the Debbie Downer, but also have contingency plans in place. And so it's always, it's always just that, you know, that phantom in the night that you never know what's going to happen next week or next month or next year. It's always like, it's like almost like a debt collector. It's just, you know, looming, you know.
Every so often calls you out the blue and it's like, oh, damn, that's right.
Right, and it's just going to repo my feeling good.
Got to get on that.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, you never can really feel at ease in a sense. And I think that is, you know, I feel stripped of that. Like there's no peace of mind or just that, you know, prior to my cancer diagnosis, I never questioned if I was going to be able to see my kids graduate from college or graduate from high school. You know, and now it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to anticipate. So I think that was just kind of stolen from, I had to mourn the life that I thought I was going to have. And so that's an adjustment that I think I'm still dealing with. My biggest fears are that I'm not going to be able to see my kids grow up. I think that's my biggest fear, that I'm not going to be there for them. And then I also have fears layered on that where if I'm not there, then what's going to happen to them? Are they going to develop a drug habit? Is something going to happen to them? Are they going to be abandoned? Meaning like there's no family there to take care of them, and then Rick has his health problems and he won't be able to be there for them. So my mind can go really on a really bad path as far as like just thinking all the bad things that can happen to them.
Yeah, it's a really bad snowball effect. That's where I got to step in and kind of stop that thing from getting too big.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are definitely my biggest fears. Yeah, related to our kids.